Good morning everyone. Basa tayo ng Bible guys. Basahin natin is Numbers 34, 35, and 36. And Mark 9, 30 to 50. Pang ano na natin to guys, pang March 5, 2021. Boundaries of Canaan. 34, chapter 34 ng Numbers. Basa. Boundaries of Canaan. The Lord said to Moses, command the Israelites and said to them, when you enter Canaan, the land that will be allotted to you as an inheritance will have these boundaries. Your southern side will include some of the desert of Sin along the border of Edom. On the east, your southern boundary will start from the end of the Salt Sea, cross south of the Scorpion Pass, continue unto Zin, and go south of Kadesh Barnea. Then it will go to Hazar, Edar, and over to Ismon, Ezmon, where it will turn, join the Wadi of Egypt, and end at the sea. Your western boundary will be the coast of the Great Sea. This will be your boundary on the west. This will be your boundary on the west. So verse 7 guys, for your northern boundary run a line from the Great Sea to Mount Hor, and from Mount Hor to Lebo Hamath. Then the boundary will go to Zedad, continue to Zipron, and end at Hazar Enan. This will be your boundary on the north. For your eastern boundary run a line from Hazar Enan to Shepam. The boundary will go down from Shepam to Riblah on east side of Ain, and continue along the slopes east to the Sea of Kinnereth. Then the boundary will go down along the Jordan and into the Salt Sea. This will be your land with its boundaries on every side. Moses commanded the Israelites, assign this land by lot as an inheritance. The Lord has ordered that it be given to the 9.5 tribes. Because the families of the tribe of Reuben and tribe of Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. Una-una na kasi si Reuben tsaka si Gad nagkuha ng... Saan ba sila banda? Yung binasa natin kahapon. These 2.5, saan ba yung mapa? Yan mo na. These 2.5 tribes have received their, ayan. Alam ko nauna na sila, nauna na sila Reuben sa si Gad. Sila Reuben bandang hindi ko mano kung tama ito. Yung aking pag-intindi ba. Sa Dibon, Moab sila eh. Tapos si Gad sa Heshbon, Jesus. Kayo na lang din mag-intindi niyan. May map rin naman yung inyong NIV Bible. Nine and a half tribes. So, verse 14 na tayo. Verse 15 na tayo, guys. These 2.5 tribes have received their inheritance on the east side of the Jordan of Jericho toward the sunrise. O nga, yung dalawa, si Reuben at si Gad. The Lord said to Moses, these are the names of men who are to assign the land for you as an inheritance. Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun, and appoint one leader from each tribe to help assign the land. These are their names: Caleb son of Jephunneh from the tribe of Judah, Shemuel son of Amihud from the tribe of Simeon, Elidad son of Kishlon from the tribe of Benjamin, Bukki son of Jogli, the leader from the tribe of Dan, Haniel son of Ephod, the leader from the tribe of Manasseh son of Joseph, Kemuel son of Shephtan, the leader from the tribe of Ephraim son of Joseph, Elipsephan son of Penek, and the leader from the tribe of Zebulun, Paltiel son of Besan, the leader from the tribe of Issachar, Ahisud son of Shelomi, the leader from the tribe of Asher, Pidahal son of Amihud, the leader from the tribe of Naphtali. These are the men the Lord commanded to assign the inheritance to the Israelites in the land of Canaan. Alam nyo guys, di ba 13 yung anak ni Israel? Yung nag-isa niyang anak si Dina, wala man lang hindi gaanong nababanggit si Dina dito eh. Tsaka si Levi, wala din siyang tribe. Yung anak niya si Levi, kasi katulong nila, ay nag-a-assist kila yung mga nag-a-assist doon sa priest, mga Levites yun. Towns for the Levites. On the plains of Moab, ito na yung chapter 35. Towns for the Levites. On the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, the Lord said to Moses, command the Israelites to give the Levites towns to live in from the inheritance the Israelites will possess, and give them pasture lands around the towns. Then they will have towns to live in and pasture lands for their cattle, flocks, and all their other livestock. The pasture lands around the towns that you give the Levites will extend out 1,500 feet. 1,500 feet. From the town wall outside the town measure 3,000 feet. Ang measurement nila is by feet, hindi siya square meter. On the east side, 3,000. On the south side, 3,000. On the west, and 3,000 on the north. With the town in the center, they will have this area as pasture lands for the towns. Cities of refuge. 6 of the towns you will give the Levites will be cities of refuge, to which pagod na. Nakakapagod na. Ikakayuko. 6 of the towns you give the Levites, which be cities sa verse 6 guys, no 35. 6 of the towns you give the Levites will be cities or of refuge, to which a person who has killed someone may flee. Yung mga tumatakas guys, binibigyan ng town. In addition, give them 42 other towns. In all, you must give the Levites 48 towns together with their pasture lands. The towns you give the Levites from the land the Israelites was to be given in proportion to the inheritance of each tribe. Take many towns from a tribe that has many, but few from one that has few. Then the Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you cross the Jordan into Canaan, select some towns to be your cities of refuge, to which a person who has killed someone accidentally may flee. O pinapatakas pa yung nakakapatay guys. Yung mga accidentally nakakapatay, yung hindi sadya. There will be places of refuge from the avenger so that a person accused of murder may not die before he stands trial before the assembly. Ito trial muna, yun ang maganda. Trial muna bago parusahan ng kamatayan. Hindi yung ikukulong ka kaagad. These 6 towns you give will be your cities of refuge. Kasi sa atin mayroon tayong batas na ikukulong ka muna bago trial. The 6 towns you give will be your cities of refuge. Pero dito kay Father God, yung batas nila is trial muna bago parusang kamatayan. The 6 towns will be your cities of refuge. Give 3 on this side of the Jordan and 3 in Canaan as cities of refuge. The 6 towns will be a place of refuge for Israelites, aliens, and any other people living among them, so that anyone who has killed another accidentally can flee there. If a man strikes someone with an iron object so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. Or if anyone has a stone in his hand that could kill, and he strikes someone so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. Or if anyone has a wooden object in his hand that could kill, and he hits someone so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. So, simple lang ang ano guys. If nakapatay ka, ang parusa sa'yo, kamatayan din. Pero pagka accident, ang pagkapatay mo sa kanya hindi sadya, ita-trial ka muna. Pag napatunayang guilty ka, di kamatayan din ang katapat. Ito yung mga niya mga parusa niya The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death. When he meets him, he shall put him to death. If anyone with malice, a foretooth anong a foretooth? Google, katapat. Shows another, at may istorbo pa tayo. Shoves another or throws something at him intentionally, so that he dies. If in hostility he hits him with his fist, so that he dies, that person shall be put to death. He is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death when he meets him. But if without hostility someone suddenly shoves another or throws something at him unintentionally, or without seeing him drops a stone on him that could kill him, and he dies, then since he was not his enemy, and he did not intend to harm him, the assembly must judge between him and the avenger of blood according to these regulations. The assembly must protect the one accused of murder from the avenger of blood and send him back to the city of refuge to which he fled. He must stay there until the death of the high priest, who was anointed with the holy oil. But if the accused ever goes outside the limits of the city of refuge to which he has fled, and the avenger of blood finds him outside the city, the avenger of blood may kill the accused without being guilty of murder. The accused must stay in his city of refuge until the death of the high priest. Only after the death of the high priest may he return to his own property. Kaya mo guys, yung mga priest nung araw, sabi ko sa inyo maraming katungkulan These are to be legal requirements for you throughout the generations to come, wherever you live. Anyone who kills a person is to be put to death as murderer, only on the testimony of witnesses, but no one is to be put to death on the testimony of only one witness. O pag isa lang yung witness. Do not accept a ransom for the life of a murderer who deserves to die. He must surely be put to death. So, walang ransom. Inheritance of Zelophehad's daughters. The family heads of the clan of Gilead, son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, who were from the clans of the descendants of Joseph, came and spoke before Moses and the leaders, the heads of the Israelites' families. They said, "When the Lord commanded my Lord to give the land as an inheritance to the Israelites by lot, he ordered you to give the inheritance of our brother Zelophehad to his daughters. Now suppose they marry men from other Israelites' tribes. Then their inheritance will be taken from our ancestral inheritance and added to that of the tribe they marry into. And so part of the inheritance allotted to us will be taken away. When the year of Jubilee for the Israelites comes, their inheritance will be added to that of the tribe into which they marry, and their property will be taken from the tribal inheritance of our forefathers." Then at the Lord's commands Moses gave this order to the Israelites. "What the tribe of the descendants of Joseph is saying is right. This is what the Lord commands of Zelophehad's daughters. They may marry anyone they please as long as they marry within the tribal clan of their father. No inheritance in Israel is to pass from tribe to tribe, for every Israelite shall keep the tribal land inherited from his forefathers. Every daughter who inherits land in any Israelite tribe must marry someone in her father's tribal clan, so that every Israelite will possess the inheritance of his fathers." So magkakamag-anak guys, hindi pwedeng iba mapapangasawa nila. No inheritance may pass from tribe to tribe, for each Israelite tribe is to keep the land it inherits. So Zelophehad's daughters did as the Lord commanded Moses. Zelophehad's daughters Mahlah, Tirzah, Hoglah, Milcah and Noah married their cousins on their father's side. Sabi na sige, magkakamag-anak eh. Kasi nga ayaw mapasa sa iba yung kanilang naman ng lupa. They married within the clans of the descendants of Manasseh, son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in their father's clan and tribe. These are the commands and regulations the Lord gave through Moses to the Israelites on the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho. So, sila nga guys, pagka dyan sa tribe ng Israelites, asahan mo, magkakamag-anak yan kasi ang family tree niyan is nag-umpisa kay Israel. Si Jacob ba? So yun, magkakamag-anak talaga yung mga yan. Kaya hindi masamang mag-asawa yung magkamag-anak. Sa noong araw ha, pero sa generation natin ngayon, ewan ko bakit bawal na. Okay, sa bukas Deuteronomy na tayo. Lipat na tayo dito sa Mark 9:30 to 50. Jesus predicts his death the second time. They left that place and passed through Galilee. Jesus did not want anyone to know where they were, because he was teaching his disciples. He said to them, "The Son of Man is going to be betrayed into the hands of men. They will kill him, and after 3 days, he will rise." Yun nga, Jesus. Yung nabasa ko sa Matthew, nag-end siya sa pagkabuhay niyo. And then, nakipag-meet kayo sa disciples niyo. After that, wala na. Nahang yung story sa Matthew guys eh. After mag-rise ng, diba yung kasabay niyang nabuhay yung mga banal na tao, nabuhay din yun eh. Kasi nag-open yung mga tomb. Tapos, si Jesus nakipagkita sa mga disciples. Doon siya nag-end. So now, nasaan na si Jesus? Yan ang tanong natin sa mga expert guys. Nasaan na si Jesus? Ba't hindi sinulat yung after niya makipag-usap sa mga disciples? Saan na siya nagpunta? Hindi katulad kay Elijah. Si Elijah kasi, tinangay ng whirlwind pataas. So, alam natin umakyat si Elijah, si Prophet Elijah. Ayun. Jesus predicts this the second time. Sa verse ano na tayo guys? Verse 32. But they did not understand what he meant and were afraid to ask him about it. The disciples argued about who would be the greatest. Nabasa na rin natin to sa Matthew. They came up to Capernaum. When he was in the house, he asked them, "What were you arguing about on the road?" But they kept quiet because on the way they had argued about who was the greatest. Sitting down, Jesus called the 12 and said, "If anyone wants to be the first, he must be the very last and the servant of all." He took a little child and had him stand among them. Taking him in his arms, he said to them, "Whoever welcomes one of these little children in my name welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me does not welcome me, but the one who sent me." The disciples forbade another to use Jesus' name. "Teacher," said John, "we saw a man driving out demons in your name, and we told him to stop because he was not one of us." So, hindi disciples guys nakakapagpagaling ng yung may demons. "Do not stop him," Jesus said. "No one who does a miracle in my name can in the next moment say anything bad about me. For whoever is not against us is for us. I tell you the truth, anyone who gives you a cup of water in my name because you belong to Christ will certainly not lose his reward." Alam nyo kasi guys, kahit hindi disciples, basta't yung nasa faith kasi yun tsaka sa prayer, si Jesus na rin nagsabi nun. This kind can come out only by prayer. So, yung naalala mo yung nagkapagpalabas ng demon, nag-pray lang, pray ang katapat. So, kahit hindi siya disciples, pwede. Basta't may pananampalataya ka lang. Halimbawa, ikaw may faith ka na gagaling ka, tsaka prayer kasama. Jesus warns against temptation. "And if anyone causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to be thrown into the sea with a large millstone tied around his neck. If your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. It's better for you to enter life maimed than with 2 hands to go into hell, where the fire never goes out. And if your foot causes you to sin, cut it off. It is better for you to enter life crippled than to have 2 feet and be thrown into hell. And if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out. It is better for you to enter the kingdom of God with 1 eye than to have 2 eyes and be thrown into hell, where the worm does not die and the fire is not quenched." Kadiri yung hell guys, may worm tsaka "Everyone will be salted with fire. Salt is good, but it loses its saltiness. How can you make it salty again? Have salt in yourselves and be at peace with each other." Ayun. Pero itong sinabi niyang guys, yung putulin ang kamay, putulin ang paa, hindi po yan literal. Basta ang alam ko, pag magkasala ka, magsisi ka. Yun. Hindi po yan literal na puputulin mo yung kamay mo tsaka paa mo. Hindi po. Ang niyan, magsisi ka sa kasalanan mo and then pray na patawarin ka. That's it. Bye everyone. God bless.